Hi everyone, I'm Carmen Quaid of AgriFocused, and I'm just going to give you a little tip here about using Excel, generating pivot tables to make the job of sorting out tickets for truck drivers at harvest time a lot easier. So if you've got contractors that you're paying per tonne or potentially per load, you can generate a quick pivot table in Excel to give them the information that they need to generate their invoice, or just double check their invoice just to make sure that they haven't missed off any tickets and you're underpaying them. So what we've got here is a list of all of our tickets. Now you can get this from your bulk handlers login, whoever you're with, CBH or AWB, GrainCorp, whatever. All of them online have got an area where you can generate a report, or it might be in the top right hand corner in the GrainCorp Crop Connect. We've got a little link there that says generate CSV file, and that will give you a data file that you can open up in Excel and manipulate the information. We've already changed the headings into bold and done a little bit of tidying up in here, and that gives us a good place to start. Now to generate the pivot table, we're just going to select all of this text here, and you might have a quicker way of doing that, but I'll just show everybody this sort of fairly basic way to select all text. We go up to Insert, we go to Pivot Table, we always make sure we're putting it in a new worksheet, and you'll see that pop up down here. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing and overwhelming. Don't be too worried. We've got all of this information. We only really want to look at three things. We want to look at the tonnages, that's our main value we're analysing, and we want to look at the truck rego, so which truck has actually carted it. And because we're carting to two different sites, we also want to have a look at which site it's been carted to. So how's this? I reckon this is amazing. We've got all of our trucks down the left hand side, the total tonnes that they've carted to Mary Winebone, the total tonnes to Walgett, and the grand total of tonnes there. Some of these might be our trucks, and we can just ignore those, or perhaps change the colour so they're not what we're concentrating on. We might have a different couple of rates applying to each site. So we can put those rates in there, $35 to one area, and it might be $45 to another site because it's a little bit further away. Now it looks like they've been pretty busy, doesn't it? Or it's been a fairly long harvest. We can multiply out how much we're going to pay them by going the rate multiplied by that cell there, which is the total tonnages. Now those of you familiar with Excel know that you can often scroll that down to actually copy the formula. You can't do that with the pivot tables. There are a few little tricks to make it easier, but you're not going to be doing many, so I would just suggest copying that out there and making sure you've multiplied that by each cell as you go down. So some of these basic skills we include in our Excel for Farmers online course, and you can work your way through with some pretty practical farming examples to expand your Excel skills. So you can see how I've done that there. You can do the same with the other rate, and then you can add on your GST and just double check that everything's all sorted out. Now we did say that they were our own trucks, didn't we? So we'll just take those out, and we can look just for there, the total that we've got owing for those three trucks there. Now just a bit of a hint and tip from someone that's got themselves pretty tangled up in the past. We are paying truck drivers potentially just on tickets and tonnages, but when harvest is long and drawn out like this, sometimes it's really good to be able to make an interim payment partway through harvest. I would really strongly recommend that you probably did this and had a quick look at it, but just say, okay, we're going to pay $6,000 to this truck driver or this carting company here against their eventual invoice. If we start getting complicated and saying, well, we've paid that one, paid that one, paid that one, paid that one, and then a little bit later another one comes in and we haven't paid that, we end up making more work for ourselves. So the interim payment of a bulk amount against the eventual invoice is probably the best way I would suggest to handle that. And then we wait to develop our pivot table and do all of our analysis and invoice checking or invoice writing right at the end. So good luck with the rest of it. I hope you don't get bogged or flooded, and that the downgrades certainly aren't too bad. So thanks for listening. Bye.